The type of rock, context. Context is the type of rock in which the fossil was found. Also, what non-fossil items surround the fossil? What other fossils were found nearby? These are needed to draw inferences about the fossil itself. Also to reconstruct past life and past environments. So context is very important. Provenience and context. Characteristics of characteristics of mammals. Traits include homeothermy, maintain a body temperature, heterodontism, several types of teeth, and a set of specific reproductive patterns. Placental birth, and then feeding the offspring from the body, from the mammalian glands. As well as a set of unique brain structures. With mammals, they have a more complex brain than, or nervous system than reptiles. And primates then step that up. They are mammals, but they are primate mammals, and having a more complex brain. Placental birth. In natural selection, this signifies a selection for connection, for bonding, for dependence on one another in organisms on Earth. Every mammal offspring that's born is dependent upon its mother for a specific length of time. Mammals, it's usually a pretty short amount of time, a few weeks, sometimes almost a few hours. As we see with primates, that development will take longer, and we'll talk about why. Well, mammals, while using the nervous system, don't use it as extensively as primates, so the maturation process or the growth process, the storing of information is not as complete or as complex as with primates. Speaking of primates, traits of primates. A bony ring or an closing the eye socket. It can be open or it can be closed. Hands and feet that can grasp. Nails on the end of digits. Binocular vision, stereoscopic vision. Large brain relative to body size. And long gestation periods and slow postnatal growth. Let's take a look. Haplorhini and Streptorhini. If you'll see the Haplorhini, which is what we are, has a closed eye socket, as we do. The earlier primates, the Streptorhini, have an open eye ring or orbital bar. Hands and or feet that can grasp. Here we can see the digits, we can see the opposable thumb, and we can see the areas of the digits that can grasp, come together and bend around. This allows primates to manipulate the earth in a much more detailed way. This also is connected to the nervous system. Hand-eye coordination. These are changes that create organisms that can interact more in depth, more detailed, and find new ways of exploiting their niche most effectively. Nails on the end of digits, not claws. Unguiculate. Here we see a monkey who needs a manicure. Actually, the nails are pretty good. But you see there's nails on the end of these fingers and not claws, just like you and me. We often say, oh, they're so much like us. We're like them. Primates have been around for over 50 million years. We've been around in our current modern Homo sapien condition for about 200,000 years. Binocular vision. On the left we see this rabbit. The rabbit has very clear sight around the sides all the way to the back, because while the rabbit is down eating the grass, he's watching for predators. A primate, on the other hand, over on the right, has a large cross vision in the front where the eyes come together, giving actual depth perception. This is essential for moving through trees efficiently as well as for hunting. Large brain relative to body size. We look at this as the ability to create tools, the ability to understand the environment and interact in it in different ways. Really what this is about, most importantly, is the nervous system is allowing primates to cooperate, to communicate. With mammals, every mother has to take care of her offspring. This requires a drive to bond with that offspring. This requires empathy. Oxytocin is the parenting molecule, is the parenting hormone. This comes in very strong with mammals. As we can see with primates, the empathy, the connection is a part of their sociality. On the right, we see a mother teaching her offspring how to crack nuts. On the left, we see two bonobos, connected, compassionate. And in the center, a baboon mother and her offspring. The relationships in primates determine the success of the primates. And the empathy is on the face with apes. And you can see it, the small sketches above, the relaxed facial expression, the relaxed with a dropped lip, horizontal pout face, which is distress, a fear grin, fear or excitement, and full play face. What is happening is each individual is broadcasting what's going on with them, so the other individuals can see. Now at this point, apes can also deceive other apes. But this is the purpose, the key purpose of the larger brain for primates and in us as primates. Now let's look at Michael.
An astounding dimension of Michael's character was revealed when he recounted a terrifying memory from his life as a baby in Africa. Every day in Africa, logging and poaching threatened gorilla survival. It seems likely that during a poaching raid, Michael witnessed his mother being murdered and butchered for meat. It is with shocking regularity that entire family groups are killed for food. This infant chimpanzee was spared, but his parents were not. When asked about his mother, Michael told Penny a very disturbing story. He signed Noise, Trouble, and Cut Neck. Penny believes he was describing how he became a captive gorilla. The Gorilla Foundation hopes that by sharing Michael's story, and by raising awareness about how thousands of great apes are hunted and killed each year, the tragedy that made Michael an orphan might stop. There is no way to know the exact impact this memory has had on Michael, but Penny believes it has shaped his personality.
Michael is just a totally different individual. He is very, very sensitive, very artistic. He is fond of classical music, and he paints beautifully.
Since they were young, both Michael and Coco were surprisingly skillful at expressing themselves through painting. One of Michael's first paintings was of his favorite dog, Apple, whom Michael loved to play chase with. Michael painted his faithful friend from memory, entitled it Apple Chase. From the many colors he was offered, Michael deliberately chose only black and white to create this remarkable impression of apple and a sense of the chase. Coco and Michael surprise the world with their artistic ability. The fact that they select specific colors from a full palette and paint with such purpose and intent is no less than amazing.
Excellent.
When the gorilla's artwork goes on display, Penny and Ron decide which pieces to send to the gallery.
When I got to see Coco and Michael's pictures in a portfolio, I was really excited about what I was seeing, and the idea of giving them an art show was really exciting. Michael's art is very emotional. It's full of color, it fills up the page, it has a lot of activity, a lot of action.
Michael's paintings are often about how he feels. He paints his emotions with intensity. And his still lifes with surprising finesse. Stink in GSL means flower. Michael painted a large bouquet and entitled his finished work, Stink Gorilla More.
This painting, Stink Gorilla More, looks to me like a vibrant spring bouquet of flowers. You can see where he was lighter with the brush, maybe had some heaviness in certain areas. It's almost like music in the same way you'd vary things.
But Coco and Michael aren't the only ones with a creative eye. Ron's photographs have given the world a powerful insight into these magnificent beings.
My interest in taking pictures of the gorillas is as great as it was 27 years ago. There is a lot I need for people to see about them. And I'm flattered that the gallery wanted to put some photos in here. And it also helps for people to relate to the artwork that the gorillas do. Especially children, they can see what Coco's and Michael's personality is like. There's a black and white photograph of Michael. He looks half human. And what's eye-catching about that is that people see human-like qualities in an animal.
Coco's life with humans has afforded us an opportunity to look into the eyes of another animal and recognize our kinship.
I think people conceptually find it uncomfortable. But when they see Coco, there's something different. And their conscious and subconscious have to work it out.
They're us. We are the naked apes. We are apes. They are us. We are them. There is very little difference. It's just hard for us to accept because they look so different on the surface. But it's just a surface thing. They're like us inside.
Penny hopes a nearby interpretive center will inspire visitors to conserve habitats for gorillas and for all the world's species.